Greetings, Autobots, and welcome back. Tonight, we're going to be doing something very special, as by the time of this video's upload, we'll have hit 500 subscribers, or we'll have hit the 100th video milestone. So if you're seeing this before then, you're either a time traveler, or, I don't know, an interdimensional evil alien warlord or something come to claim vengeance upon my soul. But hey-ho, that's neither here nor there. So we're going to do Optimus Prime. No better way to celebrate the milestone than with my favourite Transformer, of course. But I thought that wasn't quite enough. So we're going to be looking at not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 Optimus Primes. 5 for every 100 subscribers. I do have 2 other ones sitting there, but I realized at the last minute it would be more thematic sense if I just included the 5, so that's the power of quick thinking for you. So we are going to be doing all 5 of these wonderful, wonderful figures. I'm going to be segmenting this video into different chapters, so we're going to go from oldest to newest in terms of continuity. So we're going to start off with Missing Link Optimus Prime, which we have covered on the channel. So let's clear up our workspace and get down to brass tacks. So as we have covered this figure before on the channel, this isn't going to be a review, so to speak, as more as a story or a compilation of how I acquired these figures as well as what they mean to me. So Missing Link Optimus Prime, being a remake of that G1 figure, was something I had been looking for a while, because at this point in my collection I didn't have a G1 Optimus Prime. So naturally, seeing the opportunity to grab a modern articulated remake of that original toy with animation accurate color scheming, of course I just had to hop on that offer. It was simply too good to pass up as a collector of Optimus Primes. And the transformation is pretty much unchanged, save for the hands. It is as classic gets. Sometimes all you need to do is just keep things the same instead of adding unnecessarily little knickknacks here and there. You know, yeah, it's all well and cool having headmasters, target masters, but sometimes you just need some good old die-cast metal. And we're left with a pretty stellar robot. Just listen to those. Do you know what? Since this is a special, we're just going to be savoring the triggers of these toys. So we've got nice clicky ratchet joints. I wonder if I can make a beat. There we are. Nothing at the wrists. There's no clickies, but oh no, there's no clickies there. Oh well, at least we've got plenty here. Some nice clicky ratchet joints. Mega satisfying. But I remember I actually have a really funny story to share, and I have stories to share with all of them, but this one I think is particularly funny because I accidentally lost, or actually no, I tell a lie. My original Missing Link Optimus, the toy accurate version, so I dropped them out of a window, like just my bedroom window. I was preoccupied with doing something. I was just absent-mindedly fluttering away with stuff on the shelf, and I knocked them off, and looking out the window and seeing that collector's item tumble to its demise, it was like the ending of King Kong, watching him die after being shot by the planes. It was just gut-wrenching. And you know what the kicker was? Of all of this, of all the damage it could have sustained, chips, chrome, water damage, anything, all that was damaged was this little smokestack. Just slightly shaved down. That was it. This thing is the Nokia phone of Transformers, and I will not be accepting any counter-arguments to that matter. But this is to say, please do not drop your Missing Link out of a window, because it would be very bad for the figure, and it is in fact very bad for your wallet, and I do not advise nor accept it. Terms and conditions apply. But yeah, Missing Link Optimus, just a really solid figure, a brilliant recreation of that original Generation 1 figure, though definitely more of a collector's item. As I said in my previous Optimus video, if you're going to want to go for an Optimus, you're definitely going to want to stick with the Legacy United one, or even one of the many reissues, though if you want to just get the cab, you may as well just splurge and buy the Missing Link. Ultimately, it's your personal preference. No choice is invalid as long as you feel it's the one you want to make. It's not up to anyone else to tell you what to do. It's up to you to blaze your own trail on your collecting journey. Or if you just want a cool little desk bot. Fold that in. Such a nice looking truck. Feels premier too. A nice die-cast metal, the chrome, the painted parts. It's a sturdy brick of a thing. Truck mode is just a big, solid red and blue cube. And there's nothing to beat. Nothing can be beat. And the chrome smokestacks too. Love me some chrome. You got the, let me see, does it say the same thing as the Missing Link? Desert Dog. Port, but I can't read that, my eyes are dying. Well, yeah, it's pretty much Missing Link Optimus Prime, a really interesting step on my collecting journey, and one that I wholeheartedly recommend. So I'll just set him off to the side there. Next on the list is the Transformers Armada Commander Class Optimus Prime from the Legacy Evolution line. This figure was a long time coming for me. I was incredibly excited when I heard the announcement, as I adore Transformers Armada. I remember getting a CD, or I tell a lie, 2 DVDs of Transformers Armada from the first season. It was the first 5 episodes across, no actually it was 5 episodes on each disc, and it was from the beginning of the show, and I adored it. I know Armada's a bit rough in terms of animation and dubbing, but I can't hate it, honestly. You can do a lot worse, and for what it was, I quite enjoyed it. The whole gimmick with the mini-cons and the different take on Starscream, as well as just this whole down-to-earth slice of life aspect of the early aspect of the show, and then whenever it got a bit more intense with the Unicron saga, I just enjoyed it. You know, I don't have any issues with it. So Optimus Prime here comes with Optimus himself, obviously, and his trailer, which, like in the show, transforms into both a base and a super mode. Now, I'll be showing the base in his proper review because, truth be told, the base is kind of a nothing burger of a mode. It's basically just the robot, or the pants mode, just laying down with the turret sticking up. But you guys are here for the main attraction, so we're just going to get straight into it. So we're going to separate the trailer, and it comes with these little struts on the sides, which you can just flip out and have it sitting off to the side. In fact, we'll take a closer look at the trailer because it's got some nice detail. You can see here, we've got some nice red Autobot insignia, some treads, though the treads are not rubber, they do have wheels so they can roll. Strange that treads would be on a trailer. You would think that would reduce mobility, but hey ho, cartoon logic. And just some lovely mechanical detail all around. It's just a nice looking tractor trailer, or trailer, not tractor trailer. Just looks pretty nice. A lot of mechanical detail, a lot of greeblies, a lot of cool bits here and there. So we'll just transform Optimus, because I remember explicitly the old episodes of Armada and watching them and just being really, because I was coming off the heels of the movies. I had never watched a Transformers animated series before. At that point, I had just watched the movies, so I didn't know that there were other Transformers stories, and I hated it. I absolutely hated the look of the show at first, because I was like, wait a minute, why did the characters just transform in the blink of an eye? Why is there no like super complicated things? Why is it not so much grittier like the movies? You know, it took a while to get used to. But then, after I watched the first episode, I really started to just enjoy the tone, the characters, and just the whole vibe of the show. It was very different to my usual sort of Transformers shows. Like, I was more used to stuff like Prime and all, but it was pretty neat to watch something so different. I know a friend of mine, I know Alakazam, he grew up with Armada and has a soft spot for it like myself. Just means he's got good taste. So, there we have the base robot of Optimus. And yeah, he's not the main attraction of this pack, but do you know what? I dig this design. It's unique, it's new, it's got a lot of just new elements to it. It's clearly Optimus Prime, just from looking at it. You can look at it from a distance and say, yeah, that's Optimus Prime. But the face sculpt, and especially the beautiful silver grille, tells us that this is a whole new interpretation. And yeah, just a really, really good looking figure. He does have a little bit of kibble in that the super mode fists are just kind of hanging out, but it's not the end of the world, though. I do wish they could have engineered some panels to just cover them up at least a tad. Yeah, just a really nice looking figure, and one that I was so happy to get in my collection. I really dig this guy. I love him a lot. So, let's transform him into a super mode. Let's just zoom out a little bit so we can get ourselves our workspace. We're going to work on the trailer first and convert it into the super mode legs. So first what we're going to want to do is just take these little bits, and I think we're going to want to flip them up. It's been a while since I did this, so bear with me if some of the steps are a bit wrong. Alright, taking these, actually no, you're going to want to leave these out for the time being. There's a reason for that. Take this tread section here, untab it, and then just swing it around like so. It will sort of click. Next, you're going to want to take these panels with the Autobot insignia, untap them, take these panels, untap them. Then you're just going to grab this section here and just unpeg from the turret here and swing this up, and then what you're going to want to do is just swing this whole section around at the top, and then take this panel here, swing it around. This will be the crotch piece for the super mode, if I can remember how to do it right. There we go, I just need to bring it down the double hinge. So for the feet, you're going to want to take these sections here, collapse them in the way until they click in place, fold in the blue struts, fold the panel in, and keep the heel out, and there you go. There you have a leg all done. The only thing is sometimes this gets a little bit undone, so you need to click it back into place. Same process here. Take this, accordion that in the way, and just, is that in as far as I can go? I don't think so. Actually, no, it is. Yeah, it is. So take the same thing, panel here, close it over, flip the toe. Now we pretty much have the bottom half done. Actually, no, we need to do this little part here. So what you need to do is take this turret, and you'll see there's tabs right here that are going to go into slots right here. So just bring this up, collapse that in, and just give it a squeeze, and we'll just sit here like a back skirt. Pretty simple. Take this red part here, flip it up, and take this section here and open it. And there you have Optimus Prime's trailer transformed into, I don't know, the max evolution of the wrong trousers from Wallace and Gromit. This is where the wrong trousers got its style from. Oh wait, no, because that came before Armada, so the wrong trousers, or Transformers aped off of the wrong trousers. Right, so now we're going to convert Optimus into super mode, and what better way to do it than to replicate how it happens in the cartoon? Because when he transforms into super mode, the first things first is the feet turn into the fists, just like in the show. Now, this is the scary part, because these panels here are kind of stiff, and you can see there's stress marks on my copy, which is kind of scary, but as long as you're just careful and push down across it instead of at the tip, so it equalizes the pressure, then you should be fine. But there's just tabs right here that this will rest into. So yeah, it's just like in the show. And you can fly the fingers out if you want. You don't have to, but it's just pretty cool. Now, I want to take these and just bring these up as if you were converting them back into his regular truck mode. Take this, unpeg this section here, and just collapse it in. Then you're going to want to take this whole section here and just split it and ratchet these down, just like that. And we're going to take this. You're just going to want to flex the plastic a little bit just to give it enough clearance for the head, though thankfully this hasn't stressed anything yet. Take this, push it down. Actually, yeah, we'll save the crest for last. Take the arms, rotate them so the forearms face them forward. Then what you're going to want to do is just collapse these as if you were putting them into truck mode, and there are tabs in there that will go into slots on the shoulder assembly. So just repeat the same process, second verse, just like the first. All right. And finally, we're just going to take his crest and fly it out. Or flare it out, I should say. There you have Optimus Prime's top half in its super mode. Now, we get to combine them. Now the combination's pretty simple. You just need to do it a certain way because in the show he just crashes straight on down and that's it. But you can see there are big hook tabs here that are going to go into these slots right here. But what you want to do first is slot this silver piece into this top port. Just make sure it's split open there so you can feed it in. I don't know why it's giving me so much bother. It's probably just because I'm not on camera. So just open that up and come on. Come on. Any day now. Actually, wait. No, is it the top? No, it's the bottom, not the top. See what I mean? Now that that's in place, what you can do is just bring this down and push it in, and that will just secure itself into place. And then for final bit of connection, just push these panels down. And there you have Armada Commander Class Optimus Prime in his super mode. Again, I adore this design. It was one of my favorite aspects of the show, how we had this basic Optimus, but then whenever the chips were down and things got serious, he'd bring out the trailer and just transform into this absolutely amazing super mode. It looks straight out of an anime, which is ironic because Armada is an anime. But the colors, the gold, the brilliant gold paint, and just this guy is caked in paint. You can see it all across the figure. We've got paint here, 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 here. Just absolutely drenched in the stuff, and I like that. It's a commander class figure, so they've definitely got more of a budget to just mess around with that. But yeah, Armada Optimus, man, what a design. We'll just take a closer look here before we move on to the reverse transformation. You know, look at that head sculpt. Just kind of hard because the figure's so tall. I just love the gold highlights, the gold crest, and the almost exhaust pieces, and the multi-layered face mask just looks so cool. I really can't put into words just how cool it is. It's one of those designs that you think they wouldn't do something like that for Optimus, but then it does, and it works unbelievably well. So yeah, Armada Optimus, a fantastic Prime, and one of the best in my collection for the fun factor alone. So let's get Optimus Prime back into his regular robot mode, and then truck mode. So first what you're going to want to do is just make sure to disassemble carefully. Get your fingernail into this little part here. It helps if you kind of turn the head. And then just pull it up, which frees up this part. And then what you can do is just grab the top of the robot and pull, not the ratcheted legs, you just gotta pull, and there you go. You can split it at the waist like that, and then slide it out by the silver part. I think we'll do the trailer first. We'll work on the trailer. So we just fold these little greebles back in. What are we going to want to do now? It's been a while since I did this, so I'm kind of having to remind myself from the get-go. So just take this, bring it down. I think, no, you're supposed to have it set like this. Okay. Let me just swing this whole bit around 180. See, it's kind of tricky finishing or filming these sorts of transformations just because there's a lot of camera space. Now, what next? Ah, yes. We'll just crack the legs up a few wee notches. Just going to bring these over and up. Collapse in the toes. And there's Toby running down the stairs. And just pull this out. There we go. Then you can just fold these back in. Oh, knocked the camera there. Didn't mean to do that. Just take this accordion out, same as before. Flip down the heel part. Now, what do we want to do? Let's see. Ah, yes. I'm just going to take the legs and just bring them down, I think. Hang on. Oh, wait, no. We're going to bring them like this. And this will allow us to just open the legs a smidge so we can bring this whole section in, and that will slip, and there's these little tabs here. They'll go into these slots on his feet. So we'll just plug that in and fold these down to create the look of the trailer. Fold that back in, and on the home stretch we just have to collapse this in, and there are tabs in here that will go into these slots right down here, paint them lovely gold. Just give it a squeeze. And then finally you're just going to want to make sure these bits are squeezed together. Close these panels over, clip in the Autobot insignia panels, and then take this crotch piece and just collapse it down on the double hinge, like so. And we'll flip these down just for the meantime, so we can keep the trailer stable while I put Optimus back into his basic vehicle mode. So what to do first? I'm just going to take these, collapse them in. Let's see. Rotate, make sure this little leg piece fits in there. Take these wheels, swing them in, give them a squeeze. This is the scary part. You just gotta take this and gently flip it up. Don't put pressure there, remember? And then fold them around, and then we'll rest in place. And that's my least favorite part, definitely. Just never gets any more comfortable. Swing that up, swing the fists around, and just close that in. At least the ratchets help to make things a little bit less arduous. Now, this is the next part. What are we going to do? Let's see. Just going to take this whole backpack section and just untap the arms and then swing them down in any way. It really doesn't matter. It's not exactly mission critical, just as long as you get them out of the way so you can move the head back in place. And then what we can do is just swing these back in and give it a nice squeeze to make sure it stays together. And just straighten all that out. Take these bits and reorient them as you would going into truck mode. Of course now it wants to fight me because I'm doing this on camera. Come on. Come on. Come on. Any day now. There you go. Sometimes it just wants to fight you. And then we just take this and let's see, what does it want? Ah, yeah, just collapse that in and then accordion these little hinges in the way. And there you go. There you have Optimus Prime back in his vehicle mode, and the trailer back in its base form. Again, a really cool figure. I especially just dig this design. Transformers Armada was a show that I had a lot of love for growing up, and it's awesome to see it get such a great interpretation in this legacy line. So, that being said for this figure, we'll move on to the next one. So, coming on at number 3 is the Power of the Primes, Optimus Prime. Now, this Optimus is incredibly unique in that it is technically 3 figures, or 3 modes in one. And I'll show you why in a minute. But this Optimus returns to the design style of the original, sporting the iconic trailer and a truck mode. Just a flat nose cab over, though there's a lot of junk in the back. You can see the robot mode arms as well as just what will become the head, which is somewhat cleverly disguised as a trailer hitch. You have a matrix here, which is actually a Prime Master. Now, for those of you that don't know, Prime Masters are little robots that can plug into different Transformers. So if you take the core of the matrix and just push it out, you can put in a Prime Master. So say if you want to have Liege Maximo, you could just pop them in there and have them riding around in your Optimus Prime. Let's get stuck into the transformation now. I'm going to narrate this one because this one in particular is incredibly unique, and it's one I'm very excited to show with you. So I'm just going to take these side panels up and then bring them forward on this hinge, collapse them like so. I'll tell the story of how I got this guy afterwards, but just collapse it like this. Take this panel here, unpack it from what will be the legs, and just bring all that down. Straighten out the legs. And flip out the toes. Take the arms out and then rotate them like this, and they will fit into the slot where these panels once were situated. So just plug that in there, plug that in there, and flip out the head, flip out the fists, and job done. There we have not Optimus Prime. This is Orion Pax, the sort of, I wouldn't say evolved, but the base form before he became Optimus Prime. A humble data clerk, a librarian, or in the case of TF1, a miner, who was picked by Alpha Trion to lead the Autobots against the evil Decepticons. As you can see, he's still got the design philosophies of Optimus Prime. He's got the silver face, the blue headpiece, and the red and blue body. But he's more slender. He's a lot less warrior-like. Definitely more svelte in his physique. Or physique. I don't know why I couldn't pronounce that there. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what the hell's the point of these big windows? And I'll show you. This is the cool part. This is what makes the Power of the Primes figure incredibly unique. And I actually got this for Christmas many years ago. I just saw it on sale. It was on discount sale, and I said, you know what, might as well pick it up. It could be a laugh. I didn't know exactly what it was I was buying. And I'm honestly glad I didn't, because the surprise factor of interacting with this and just playing with it for the first time blew me away. So yeah, we'll pop them over here. We'll just put them off to the side for the time being. In fact, let me see. Let me just pose them up, sit them down. there he is. He's waiting. He's waiting on the next video coming out. So, this big old box, this is going to become the body of the new robot, which he will turn into. And I'm not gonna spoil it exactly, but I will show you. So just take this panel here and unpeg it from the side, pop it out like so. We take these panels here and do the same thing. And I think they tab in, do they? No, I don't think so. And then you're just going to want to take this and just bring this down. Next up, you're going to want to split what will be the arms. And just flip in the trailer hitch. Take the ion blaster. Now you can't separate this, you can actually split it in two, so Orion can hold two smaller blasters. Or if you want, you can just combine it and have it be the standard iconic ion blaster. So continuing on, I'm going to split these here. Take these panels, straighten out at this hinge, and just move the arms out of the way, just to make our operating a little easier. Take the foot, accordion it down like so. Swing all of this around, swing this in, collapse this in, and this tab will go into a slot right here in the leg. So there you have a leg all done. Second verse, just like the first. Oh, bump the mic there, you don't want to do that. You would think after all the time I've been doing this, I would know not to bump the mic, but hey, sometimes these things are bigger than they look. That's just a fancy way of saying, don't blame me, blame the giant plastic robot. So same process, collapse that in, lovely jubbly. Then we can just let's lift the camera up, because he's getting a little tall. So what you're going to want to do now is just bring this all the way back, straighten this up, bring this down, collapse this panel at the back so it's sitting flush against the forearm. Straighten that out, flip out the smokestack, collapse, rotate up, rotate down, collapse in, close over, and flip up. Lovely. Love it when a plan comes together. And there you have Optimus Prime's super or robot mode body. I would say super mode, but that's pretty much what Optimus Prime is. So now we have to deal with Orion. So we'll pop the body off here, and I'll show you how to transform him into the combine mode. So let's just zoom out a little bit so you guys can see better. So first, what are we going to want to do? Let's see. We're going to take the arms and collapse them up like so. Take the legs, rotate them so the wheels are facing towards you. Disengage this section here so you can bring out the main robot head. You can bring out Optimus Prime's head. There we are. Good stuff. Take the head. You can just collapse it in like so. Doesn't matter what way the head itself is rotated, just as long as it fits in. Then you're going to want to collapse the legs there. These tabs are going to go into this little section of the chest on either side. Oh, and don't forget to flip in the toes. I don't think it's mission critical, but it just helps to tidy up the look. There you have Optimus ready for combination. So wait till you see how this combines. It's mega satisfying. So you're just going to take it in here, and this slot here, push the chest, or push it right in, and there you go. There you have Power of the Primes, Optimus Prime, all powered up in his robot mode. What a beast. What an absolutely fantastic figure. An absolute unit of a truck. Just, I love the fact that it takes the normal Optimus Prime robot design and then segments it. So you have these really cool base modes. You have the base truck mode and then the robot mode, and you're left with this super cool figure. But this one just blew me away the first time I played it. I will be doing a more in-depth review at some stage, but this video is meant to just be more showing off some favourites in my collection. Just playing around with them on camera. Does he have ratchets? No, he doesn't have ratchets, but he can pull off a good pose. Man, what a cool figure. Especially love the detail, how it just effortlessly blends in. You know, it is clear it is basically just a smaller robot tucked into a big frame, but for what it's achieving, this was essentially the masterpiece Optimus Prime, but made more affordable for a mainstream audience. So for what it was worth and for what it set out to achieve, I think this figure did it flawlessly. It's got that playset factor, you know? It's like when you open, I don't know, say, Omega Supreme from Siege, and the fact that he turns into a little city. That's part of the fun factor, is the fact that he can just turn into a giant playset for your smaller figures to play around in. And if you ever want to disengage the figure so you can play with just Orion or turn him back into his normal truck, there's a little slot or assembly right here on his butt flap. You're just going to want to press that down, and then you can just gently pull it out. Simple as. So yeah, an incredible figure. Just, I love this thing so much. I mean, how often am I going to say I love this thing so much in an Optimus Prime video? Well, it wouldn't be the same if I didn't say it at least 15 times. So let's just turn him back into his mode there, his base robot form, so we can put him back into his regular configuration. Let's try something kind of cursed. Well, that just looks wrong. Oh boy, that does not look right. Autobots, my head has been enlarged using a Photoshop filter. That's terrible. That's not funny at all. There we go. Shrunken head syndrome activate. Now we have him back as a humble data clerk, Orion Pax. So yeah, we'll just transform the trailer back and just have another ramble as per usual. So let's put Orion Pax back into his vehicle mode. But this show was a part of a trilogy. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was called the Prime Wars trilogy, or yeah, it was called Prime Wars. Oh, that's just Toby. Just let him in for a little roam around. But it was part of a trilogy. There was two other ones. There was Combiner Wars, there's Power of the Primes, and Titan's Return. That's the name, Titan's Return. It slipped my mind there for a second. But I've not actually seen the show. I've heard people say it was kind of average, so I've not watched it. But who knows, if it's fun, or if it at least has some good moments, I'll probably watch it. I mean, what do you think? What's your favourite Transformers show? Let me know in the comments down below. You know, the algorithm wants engagement somehow. Alright, that's that system. So now we're just going to transform the trailer. So, what are we going to start with? We'll start with the legs. So just move the arms up. If you can hear ragtime music in the background, just waiting on BioShock installing. There we go. Straighten that out accordingly. Still, I gotta be honest, I'm not too hopeful about the future of Transformers. I always try to look on the bright side of things, but Transformers is in a very grim spot at the moment. Reactivate's been cancelled, TF1 didn't do too well at the box office, Rise of the Beast didn't do well at the box office. Hasbro said they want to focus more on games, potentially putting the toy line in jeopardy. So it just leads me to ask, what the hell's going on? You know, I don't want to be, oh, this is doom and gloom, but it's not looking too good. I'm just going to be honest. But let's see. Ah yes, we just have to flip these up and around. There, it's just a lot of panels on this guy, a lot of flipping and flopping panel lines. But it's all worth it. It comes together for a pretty satisfying alternate mode. Yeah, you're best off flipping these down just so you can get the best sort of angle. Collapse those in, and before you do, if you want, you can take the gun. There's 2 posts right here with ports on the fists or forearms that you can just slot it into. I prefer to keep it on the lower one or the higher one, just so it sort of sits flush better. It's just a really big pain to put on from this camera angle. There we are, come on, almost there. Gotcha, perfect. So just bring that in, peg it in on the other side, and then we can just bring all of this together. Let's see. Nope. There we go. That should be that on that side. I can close that over, and yeah, that's us. There we have part of the Primes, Optimus Prime, back in his alternate mode. So let's jump to the next installment. Let's just pop that over there. We're gonna do Gamer Edition Optimus Prime from the War for Cybertron game. Now the Cybertron games, man, the amount of fun I've had with the Cybertron games cannot be understated. Those games are gems, and the fact that they've been left to rot as abandonware, it's a crime. It's nothing short of a crime. And this toy is really good. The only problem is these just obnoxious fists sticking out of the back, as I mentioned in my review. But apart from that, it's a pretty solid recreation of this super cool Cybertruck form. So let's get him transformed. And the original figure had a much more complex transformation, but I think this one's just a lot more fun for what it is. You know, sometimes a wise man once said, one of the greatest programmers of our age, said, an idiot admires complexity, a genius admires simplicity. And sometimes you just need something simple. You don't need a big, overly complex, drawn-out spaghetti engineering-style transformation. Sometimes just some simple flipping back and forth, up and down and all around. That's all you need. So I'll just fold that down. Really dig the head sculpt on this guy. It's every Optimus Prime figure has something unique that they bring to the table, even if it is just the G1 design, but these ones especially just have something very unique in their visual flair, with that sort of rounded game design that they all have in common, specifically the Cybertron designs, because Fall of Cybertron, actually no, it's more so the Decepticons. The Decepticons have harsher angles, whereas the Autobots are more rounded. We just have a really solid looking Optimus. I do wish there was a bit more paint, but then again, that could go without saying for pretty much all the Optimus Primes in this video. More paint just to give it a little bit of a spruce up. I especially like the little energon detail, how it looks like it's flowing through their bodies. Even the symbols look like they're glowing too. Just a really nice, solid figure. Can't go wrong with that. And one of my personal favourite Optimus designs, it's got one of those unique sort of flares to it, because visually you can just look at it and say, yeah, it's Optimus Prime, but it's a bruiser. It's an absolute unit of an Optimus. The big broad chest piece, and he also has a unique matrix, which is pretty cool. And some really nice molded in mechanical detail. It looks like it's being held in, almost like it's a power source. But yeah, Optimus or Gamer Edition Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Optimus Prime. A really solid figure, and one that I definitely recommend, as do I with every Optimus on this list. I don't think I've ever actually owned an Optimus Prime I disliked or even outright hated until I got the Classics Optimus Prime, which, oh boy, if you've seen that figure, you know it is rough. Many people are calling it, or saying it's very similar to the upcoming Devastation Optimus, which, I'm not going to kid you, it does look rough, the Devastation Optimus, but we shall give it the benefit of the doubt, and when it comes out, we'll put it on the table and see if he's as cool as it actually looks, or if it can prove itself amidst all the negativity. Click that in. There we are. Oh, forgot to fold these bits up. That's the problem whenever you do these videos for an extended period of time. Sometimes you just forget yourself and you rush through the steps. But everything just comes together in a nice, click, satisfying way. And there he is, back in his alternate mode. So, we're on the home stretch now. What are we going to do? Ah, of course. The Siege Optimus Prime. Now, the reason I picked this one to showcase over the Earthrise is because I believe this is the superior figure in design, paint, engineering, and just overall fun factor. And this is the premium finish in particular, as I wanted the most screen accurate version, so I got the one with the cracked, or the painted green, clear green, painted cracked on windows. It's got some nice detail all around, just the clear plastic. Gives it a really nice alien look, though I do wish these were clear inserts, but I do understand why, because they're part of the arms kibble. So yeah, let's get him transformed. I remember I could do the Siege Optimus transformation blindfolded. It is such a satisfying conversion. Nothing clashes, everything just goes to where it's supposed to go. Even the things which look like they would clash, like that headpiece there, just comes out perfectly. And yeah, since we're talking about Siege, let's talk about the show, because I'm in two minds about it. I really dig it because it's that dark, gritty Transformers story like the Bay movies that I adore, but the story and the character writing specifically for Optimus Prime is really lacking in places. Like, they make him, he's too grumpy, or not even that, he's too emotive. You know, Optimus Prime's supposed to be the strong leader type, so hearing him yell and losing his cool like that, just, it doesn't quite appeal to me. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, there's that scene where they're debating on whether or not to just let Bumblebee go or execute him because he could give away their position to the Decepticons. And Optimus rightfully tells his troops, he says, "We are not the Decepticons, let him go." But instead of it being in a dulcet Peter Cullen type tone of, "We are not the Decepticons, please let him go," it's like, "We are not the Decepticons." Like, it's just so un-Optimus-like, which is rich, because I know a lot of people say, "Ooh, but Michael Bay Optimus Prime is very Optimus-like," and yes, I will grant that there are times where Bayverse Optimus has done that, but I grew up with those movies, so I may be a little bit biased. I will fully admit that. But just a satisfying, slick, fun conversion, and you're left with such a solid figure. I actually prefer the more muted colours of this version, and the battle damage, it just looks better here. The sort of black splotches here, and the burn marks, the cracked windows, the dirt, it makes them look really cool. That these figures have genuinely seen the battlefield and have just absolutely been blitzed for Primus knows how many years, and I just think it looks awesome. I mean, how many times am I going to repeat myself this video? I don't know. You can keep track if you want, because God knows I'm not. But yeah, overall, an incredibly solid robot mode, just packed to the gills with detail, and pretty much the figure, the mold, not this specific one, it was the original Siege one which got me back into collecting Transformers, But this mold pretty much reignited my love for Transformers. I saw this guy on the shelf and I just thought, do you know what? We'll pick him up. It'd be fun to have an Optimus Prime. And the rest is history. So let's put him back and move on to the unfortunate son, as I now call him. You'll know when you see him. But yeah, let's talk about the Transformers news, because Reactivate being cancelled, it sucks. It's a huge blow. For those of you that don't know, the developers basically came out on Twitter saying, oh yeah, hey, you know that game you were waiting for so long and we strung you along for so long without any new news? Yeah, well, it's just cancelled. Goodbye. Thanks for all the Vargas fans. And I was furious. You know, I don't know what's going on at Splash Damage, but the fact that they strung us along for so long without even saying a word, that's the part I can't get over. If they had just said, like, frequent updates, like, hey, we're experiencing some trouble development, it's like, okay, you know, these things can happen. But they said nothing. Not a peep. Not a single solitary smidgen of a sliver of a whisper. Nothing. And that's the part that annoys me the most. I don't know, but it's just because I'm behind the camera that I'm struggling to transform these guys sometimes. That's the only sort of issue here. That was a nice series of clicks. There we are. Back in truck mode. So, let's move on to the most tragic star of tonight's guest feature presentation. And the penultimate bot. The Transformers Reactivate Optimus Prime. You deserved your time in the spotlight, lad. You'll always be valued to me. One of the best Optimus Prime designs that we've gotten in recent times, and unfortunately lost media now, as these toys, they may spike in value because of the fact they're from a now cancelled project. Or I suppose the studio series could just re-release this under the concept series line now. Yeah, it sucks. There's no two ways about it. It sucks, but the truck mode is awesome. Just an absolute beast of a truck. I love the chrome smokestacks. I love the Mad Max front piece. It just looks like a real bruiser. This is what the Michael Bay design should have been for many people. This is what many people consider to be what the Michael Bay design should have been. So let's just transform them. Now, I will do a proper review on this, but this video is meant to just be a little showcase and ramble, just as a way of showing off some of my favourite Optimus Primes, as well as just rambling to you guys about said Optimus Primes, as well as just my general opinions of Transformers and whatnot. It's just a little bit tricky to get that bit out. Actually, yeah, I might be better to keep these down just so I have more clearance to... There we go. Just so we have more clearance to bring these out and around. And wait till you see the way this robot turns out. It is quite spectacular, in my opinion. There we go. Just bring this up. I really do like the way the faux grill transforms. It's quite unique. Just take these little side pieces here, disconnect these, make sure not to stress them too much. Well, you're not necessarily stressing them, you just have to sort of pinch or something just to make sure you don't put unnecessary strain on them. There we are. Take the head, plug that in. Now the backpack is actually quite unique. You're just going to flip, flip, a flip, and a flip, and one last flip for the road. Actually, the penultimate flip. plug this in and just tap that in. There you go. Just do the same thing here. And there you go. There you have Reactivate Optimus Prime. And just looking at this figure makes me sad now because, like, come on, look at this thing. This is fantastic. This looks absolutely amazing. The head as well. You just look at the head. You know, that's not your typical Optimus Prime. That's not your typical sort of gentle, stoic Optimus Prime. This one is a bruiser. This guy is, he's here to do some damage. And it's such a cool premise too. I love the detailing all around this faux grill lab section. And the silver, the dashes of silver paint really highlights this figure. And this guy's actually covered in paint. You've got paint here, 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 here. The point is, there's a lot of paint everywhere. You know, he's absolutely caked in the stuff, and it's a damn shame to see such a fantastic design go to waste, but one that will forever live on as one of the biggest badasses in Optimus Prime history. I only wish we could have got to see him in action. A salute to our fallen Reactivate Optimus Primes. Godspeed, son. Godspeed. Who knows? Maybe someday fans might revive the project. I mean, there's that Transformers Roblox game everyone's talking about. But if I'm being honest, the fact that we're hyping up a Roblox game shows how starved we are for actual Transformers games. Now, that's not to say anything bad against the creators of Transformers Crossfire. Far from it. I've not played it myself, but it does look entertaining. But I just wish we had a proper Transformers game, you know, like the movie games. Give us like an open world sandbox game, a third-person shooter. Give us something cool to sink our teeth into. Even just re-release the Cybertron games. Let's see. Now this guy, his transformation could be a little bit clashy if you don't know what you're doing, but I figured out the ideal order of operations. It's more so just about keeping certain parts out of the way until you properly need them. Kind of like what you want to do with these grill pieces. Just rotate them around and then feed them together. Tap this in. Flip this in. Make sure that tabs in properly. And see, the arms are the only real tricky bit, just because you have to angle them, you have to position them a particular way so you can get the arms to tuck in and around the cab. So we'll just do the same. We'll just sort of prep them, get them roughly into position. Take these bits. Come on. There we go. It's a little bit finicky, but when it all comes together, it just clips right in like nobody's business. And there we have Reactivate Optimus Prime back in his vehicle mode. A truly terrific figure that's sadly cut short in his prime. No pun intended. Definitely pick this guy up if you can. If you can find him for cheap, especially given now that he's from a discontinued game, get this figure before it jumps up in price, people. And the most recent and final bot of tonight is from the latest and, in my opinion, greatest Transformers movie. Well, Dark of the Moon's still one of my favourites, but we have the Takara Tomy Transformers 1 Leader Class Brave Commander Optimus Prime. Now, this figure is unique in that it is a Japanese import of the Transformers 1 Optimus Prime, but a completely new mold made by Takara that's designed to emulate those old school Leader Class toys, complete with sort of Leader Class gimmicks. It's got little hidden blasters too. Very cool. So we just, though tucking them back in is a little bit of a pain. Just sort of get enough room and then you can push. Come on. Come on. There we go. That took a while. And it's a little bit arduous whenever you're behind a camera, but hey, it is what it is. So this Optimus Prime is actually unique and it is the only completely 100% accurate rendition of his vehicle mode, because the Studio Series 1 is inaccurate and the Prime Changers one is inaccurate. This is the only accurate Optimus Prime. So without any further ado, let's transform him. Now, I do believe that Transformers 1, I was going to say Transformers Prime. I have Transformers on the brain. How many times have I said Transformers this one video? But Transformers 1 has kind of found a new life for itself on streaming because of the lackluster marketing. The movie didn't do very well at the box office, despite being the greatest Transformers movie and word of mouth being very kind to it. It sadly didn't do very well at the box office, and Hasbro were like, well, okay, we're not going to finance any more movies then if that's the case, which is a brain dead decision in my opinion. Absolutely moronic. But it just hurts to see such a brilliant movie go unnoticed by the masses and people to just write it off as, oh, it's anime, it's just for kids. Trust me, give the movie a watch. It will absolutely blow you away. It's a terrific movie and it deserves to be remembered as such. And if this movie does well on streaming, we might at least get a new sequel. Maybe not a theatrical one, but a digital release or streaming service release, which I'd be annoyed about, because there's nothing like going to see a Transformers movie at the cinemas. There's just nothing quite like it. But if TF1 can at least get some recognition, who knows? Maybe we'll see Transformers 1 in theaters again soon. Fingers crossed, friends. Fingers crossed. It's a very interesting transformation. A lot of collapsing and a lot of armatures. Oh, accidentally collapsed the head back in. That's a bit unfortunate. Just collapse this in the way. Ah, there we are. And there you have Transformers 1 Brave Commander Optimus Prime. Just a brilliant rendition of that movie design, complete with lots of cool accessories, which I will be covering in his review and going into more detail. But what we're left with is a pretty solid rendition of that original figure or design. I loved Transformers 1. I don't think I've been that infatuated with the Transformers movie since Dark of the Moon, and that's saying a lot, because that's my favourite Transformers movie. But one might actually be on its way to usurp it from that spot. So, let's put him back into vehicle mode. You know, Transformers 1 is such a strange movie to me because it had everything going against that. It had a poor marketing campaign. The trailer, like the first trailer, didn't make it look very entertaining. It just made it look like a bit of a generic kids flick. And then the movie actually came out, and people were saying, wait a minute, hold on, this is actually really, really damn good. I mean, I was going to see it regardless. I mean, it's kind of my shtick. I like Transformers. You know, it doesn't matter if it's bad. I mean, I went to see it last night, for crying out loud. That movie's dreadful. But I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something that actually makes me smile, because my uncle, massive Transformers fan, big friend of the channel, he loves the Michael Bay movies as much as me, but his favourite one is The Last Night, a fact of which I have bullied him relentlessly many a time over, saying, why do you like that one? That one's absolutely awful. And he says, I just think it's neat. And you know what? Isn't that all the justification you need? You know, yeah, if something's objectively bad, then yeah, it's bad. But if you enjoy it, who am I to take that from you? Like, seriously, who are you? Who's anyone to try and take that from you? You know, it does have a few good bits. The Last Night does have some pretty good scenes. I kind of like the, just the scenes of Cybertron crashing into Earth. That's kind of one of my oddly specific fears, is like a planet colliding with Earth. I've genuinely had nightmares over that type of stuff in the past. Oh, for goodness sakes. Missed a bit there. I need to just plug that in there. There we go. Clicking in that time, swishing the arms and tie them together like so. I actually think it's quite unique how the legs transform. You have to pretty much break them at the knee, collapse them up the way, and just feed them in like so. When I tell you, my arm is absolutely exhausted right now. Like I don't know, it's like my arms just crumble to dust when I do this. So just plug this in, good and proper. Feed that in like so, as best we can. Just give everything a nice gentle squeeze to make sure it's all plugged in. And then we have Transformers 1, Optimus Prime, back in his alt mode. And that about wraps it up for this Transformers Prime-a-palooza special video. So let's get the bots of the hour all rounded up. And then we'll do a final family photograph. We'll put the biggest ones front and center. And then we'll get a big zoom out. Siege, part of the primes. Zoom out a wee smidge. Missing link. War for Cybertron. And finally, Reactivate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I actually inadvertently looked at all of them. I just realized I looked at all 7 of them and I was only supposed to do 5. Well, you know what? Honestly, it works out for both parties. I get to talk about Optimus Prime and you get to watch all these cool figures. So, when I say it, works out well for both parties. And here we have my top Optimus Primes. The Toptimus Primes, if you want to be a punny guy about it. Missing Link, Power of the Primes, Transformers 1, Transformers Armada, Siege, War for Cybertron, and Reactivate. Thank you for watching this special Transformers ASMR video. I hope you enjoyed this little look into some of my favourite Optimus Primes, as well as just my undying love for this character. Optimus Prime is a hero that means so much to me, and is a character that has gotten me through many a dark time in my life. And I hope this video can be of some use to you, whether it be entertaining, relaxing, or even just something nice to listen to the background while you play some video games, write some stuff, make dinner, anything really. And I think that about does it for this video. So this is the Autobot ASMR Prime-a-palooza special. And this is Autobot ASMR signing off for the day. Autobots, transform and roll out to bed. Till all are one.